with all the latest big talking points, news and discussion from the football world. This is Football Central.
Hello and welcome to. Oh, go on. Sorry.
I was just about to say and go, but.
Alright,
So-
okay. Hello and welcome to post-match for Manchester United versus Southampton on the TubeMix YouTube channel. Well, I can't quite believe I'm going to say 9-0, to be honest. Yeah, it's mad, and we're going to get into it. Joining me today, first of all, is the man whose channel this is on, Mr. TubeMix. Hello, how are you?
Thank you. Good evening. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
And joining us later on will be the man, the myth, the peasant, Sam Taylor himself. And my name is Jordan, also known as JLIWheels, and welcome to the show. To start off, I thought that we'd talk about something that happened today that is really sad news that's felt all across, well, pretty much the world, really. The story went worldwide, didn't it?
Yeah.
At its peak, and that is Captain Sir Tom Moore dying at the age of 100. I'm not going to give you the backstory of who he is, because, quite frankly, if you don't know who he is,
You've
I
lived
think
in a
you've been
cave.
living under a rock, yeah. So, huge loss, I think, especially because he was such a sort of a beacon of hope for people right at the start of the pandemic. So yeah, rest in peace, Sir Tom.
Yes, absolutely. Our thoughts are with his daughter Anna and the rest of his family, and they said they shared a few laughter and some tears in his final hours, which was wonderful.
Right. So to go back onto something a bit more cheerful, yeah, 9-0. I mean, you know, it's one of those results that it's not the first time it's happened to Southampton for sure.
No.
But doesn't make it any less or more shocking. I can't lie. Let's just quickly go through the goal scorers. So the first major thing that happened in the game was Jankovic getting sent off in the second minute on his first league start for Southampton, which is a shame, but some things, things happen the way they do. Also, Jan Bednarek was sent off in the 86th minute, straight red as well. Goal scorers for Manchester United: Wan-Bissaka, Marcus Rashford, a Bednarek own goal. Cavani, 2 goals from Martial. McTominay, a penalty from Bruno Fernandes, of course, and Daniel James, with 2 assists from Shaw, 2 assists from Fernandes, and an assist from Mason Greenwood. You watched the game, Will. What did you think?
I watched the first half, yeah, and I thought, well, obviously, you've got to feel sorry for Southampton because, it's a very, very hard to come, to play very well and, to continue where you were when you've got a player sent off. And I also feel sorry for that young lad as well. I mean, I agree. I agree what Darren Fletcher was saying on BT Sport, that he thought perhaps maybe, because it was his first start going to Old Trafford, it is exciting for any player, but when you're a young player and, it's It's sometimes easy to
Kind
get
of,
carried away.
kind of a lot of pressure involved as well.
It is, yeah. But well, maybe a bit of both excitement and pressure. But I just hope he hasn't damaged, his trust over Ralph Hassan at all. I mean, surely not. He should understand he's a young player.
Yeah, I think I think that they'll be okay, and also Southampton. We know what happened after they got beat 9-0 last time.
Yeah, it's
Not that any team should ever get beat 9-0.
no,
Let's not say that at all, because
no,
I
of
just don't
course not.
agree with that. Obviously they conceded goals and then they fell apart, and that happens in football.
It does, yeah.
But when you give it Man United, I think I've had some poor results recently and poor performances. I think they probably needed it. I think if anybody was gonna sort of smell it out and take full advantage, they were gonna. So yeah, it's difficult to comment on because, as we've said, he's probably gonna not know what to say. I wouldn't think if I was Ralph Housen, who lied, got beat 9-0. I don't think I'd know what to say. I think I really do. I think I'd be really struggling for the words because, it's such a humiliating result in a way, and
And
not one that they deserve either.
no, and Mark Lawrenson said on Five Live that it was a strange game. He thought, from start to finish, really strange in, well, for many factors. Obviously, no fans, because a lot of young players in there. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they are having some issues, aren't they, Southampton, with injuries and
Yeah.
suspensions and what have you. But we're all at that similar point as well, and there's also there's COVID to think about and stuff like that. So they did well, and the team that they brought out also was very good as well, and yeah, like I said, I don't know. I always find it really difficult because your heart goes out to the players, doesn't it? I mean, for me specifically, I'm just thinking, I wouldn't want to be in that dressing room. I don't think
No.
at the point of conceding 9 goals and losing 9-0, I don't think I'd even want to be a professional footballer altogether in that moment.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, Lauro summed it up perfectly. Oh, no, Alistair Bruce Ball said this on Five Live. So Ralph Hassan will tell the players, get a shower, get on the bus and go home.
Yeah, I think that's like it's a problem, isn't it? You can't exactly go mental
No.
on players either. But like, I'm literally watching the highlights right now. First time I've seen them. It is a bit messy from Southampton, but you're always going to struggle when you're down to 10 men.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Especially
Right,
because the lad that got sent off obviously was a midfielder.
yep. Yeah, I just hope he gets a chance
Yeah.
again, because surely, I hope he does, because he's going to be
They're
fairly upset.
I'm sure he will.
Are you ready for the player ratings?
Yes, are you doing them?
Yep. Okay.
Or would you like me to do them?
Um.
I'll go for it. Go on then.
Yeah. I'll do it. I think. So, these are the player ratings from the Manchester Evening News. So David De Gea, solid stop from James Ward-Prowse. Other than that, he was a spectator amid the one-way traffic at 7. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, probably the best attacking display of his United career, effectively played as a winger, scoring and creating 8. Victor Lindelof, little to no issues whatsoever on a quiet night for United centre-halves, played consecutive league games for the first time since Boxing Day 7. Harry Maguire maintained the intensity and focus through his vocal leadership as United refused to let up 7. Luke Shaw, another exceptional performance, created 2 goals and Southampton could not contain him. So vital to United, he was substituted at half-time at 9. Scott McTominay recovered from the awfully early challenge by Alexandre Jakovic and kept things ticking along. Scored superbly at 8. Fred, forward thinking with his passing and moved to left back for the second half to accommodate Donny van der Beek, but with no Roberto Carlos. 6. Mason Greenwood assisted Rashford cleverly and completed 90 minutes in the league for only the second time this season. 7. Bruno Fernandes strangely played the whole game even though it was over before the half-time shrill. Should have scored a penalty at 7. Marcus Rashford bungled the chance from the restart after the red card, but atoned with his 16th goal in the season, substituted on the hour at 7. Edison Cavani, a fine local point, had scored with an expert header. Will not have liked coming off at half-time, but that's a reflection of his importance. An 8. Donny van der Beek did not quicken the pace and got booked. 5. Anthony Martial vindicated introduction with a well-taken goal, but missed a great chance and scored again. An 8. Daniel James got the 9th for 7th. And finally, the manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made one change that was questionable for all the 77 seconds. Resting short, the pause was understandable, and Martial came on to score an 8. And that concludes your player ratings.
Yeah, it is what I expected, to be honest. I didn't expect to see it. Probably wasn't good reading for Donny van der Beek.
No.
To be fair. But yeah, no, they just won 9-0. So
Yes.
the thing is, I think there'll be a lot of people that'll turn around and they'll say, statement of intent by United.
No.
And things like that. It is, no, but the thing is,
do you think
and I
so?
agree that I think if you beat anybody 9-0, no matter what it is, it's still a statement. I'll stand by what I've said. That I do think it's City's to lose, because it just is. I think they're the strongest team in the league by a mile.
Although Liverpool, they could potentially, get a run
they
together.
could too. But it's become the thing for United to get the results even when they're not doing as good as they could do. So I think United do have to be up there nowadays.
I definitely think they'll finish in the top 4, I think, but I don't think they'll win the league. But who knows?
Well, at the minute, United and City are level on points. Obviously, City are ahead by 5 goals on goal difference.
Yeah. Well, I'm just looking here. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and what? Go on.
I'm just looking here, and obviously Saturday the 6th of February, so United play Everton, and then Liverpool play Manchester City on the Sunday. That'll be a big game.
Big game.
Yeah. Anyway,
game.
so we can come back to the United game if Sam does come back. So, shall we talk about the Wolves v Arsenal game?
Yeah, very interesting. I don't know whether you saw the João Moutinho goal,
No.
but I certainly did, and it is an absolute screamer. Obviously, Arsenal as well, down to 9 men.
Yeah, I
David
know that
Luiz
was.
and
If you think, the United Southampton game was crazy, but and who else but David Luiz getting a red card again?
yeah, David Luiz and Bert Leno sent off, so not great.
No.
I think once you see the João Moutinho goal, it is a beauty. It really is.
Yeah.
There's no saving it. I don't feel. Um, but yeah, and one of your favourites, Nicolas Pepe scoring. I've just seen the goal. It's let's get a look at it.
Nicolas Pepe.
Yeah, it's actually a very good goal.
Do you know what? I think he's, now got a run, and he's getting to run in the team, and obviously his confidence. So actually, maybe it was a confidence thing, although I think when Aubameyang comes in, I think Pepe, unfortunately, quite harshly, is probably going to have to move to the bench and make way.
I think obviously it's interesting as well because at the moment Willian really isn't playing very well.
Well, Willian, apart from, I remember the first game of the season against Fulham, and I was thinking, I think Willian will be a really good signing for Arsenal. Obviously, a great player for Chelsea. But
I remember that when I watched it in a pub.
Since then, yeah, it hasn't really gone for him, has it? Really? Would you sell him in the summer? Do you think?
No, that João Moutinho goal, by the way, really is a belter. It really, really is. He must be about 27, 28 yards out.
Wow.
It's a beautiful goal.
Would you sell Willian in the summer if you were Arsenal?
Would I sell Willian? That's a good question. No.
Okay.
I think he's experienced, isn't he?
Yes.
I've always thought that there's no substitute for experience.
No, but they do have, if they sign David Luiz to a contract again, they've got him, and they've talked about how important he is to the young players, and they've got.
Yeah, but it's different, isn't it? So somebody like Willian, who's played at the top level in the Premier League for 6 or 7 years, he's great for the likes of Reece Nelson, Martinelli, Smith Rowe,
Saka, Joe Willock, yeah.
Yeah, well, what do you think about Joe Willock going to Newcastle, by the way?
Interesting. I think he's obviously done well in the Europa League, it seems, but the Premier League he's not quite got the chances. But to be fair to him, most of the Arsenal team, I mean, you're not going to take Saka out because he's absolutely fantastic at the moment.
I also find it interesting because you made the point about he only gets he's getting the chances in the Europa League, but all of Arsenal's young players have only gotten the chances because the players that are supposed to be at the level that they need to be at haven't performed. Now, I think that Arsenal's midfield probably wasn't its weakest aspect. That being said, when you put somebody like Thomas Partey in,
he's proved he's a great player, isn't he? Really fantastic player.
The way that midfield should go, midfield battles should go, or the balance of a midfield should go, by the way, is that you always have your You've got your your tough and ready midfielder. You've got your box to box, and you've got your creative player.
Well, Partey, I would say, is the tough midfielder, surely, because a
Whereas
defensive midfielder.
Partey can do two or three of those roles. I don't
Okay.
know what he's like attacking wise, but I know he's got good lungs on him and quite good stamina and stuff. So he could probably do
He's
some running. Obviously,
he's quite physical, isn't he? You know, and he's actually he's quite tall, isn't he, Partey actually?
yeah.
And
And being physical is obviously really, really never necessary
oh yes, absolutely.
in the modern game.
As a defensive midfielder as well. I mean, you know, winning headers as well, and you know, so yeah, it's one of the vital key things. Yeah. Now Leno will be a huge miss for Arsenal.
Yeah, I've just seen it. It definitely did hit his hand.
So what did Leno do to get sent off?
So Adama Traore was coming out.
Right,
Bert
yeah.
Leno came out as well, and the ball struck him on the arm.
Okay.
Which obviously is in the rules of the game now. If it's unnatural, then it's a red. I think it probably was an unnatural position, but a lot of it's instinct, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously for Arsenal, I mean they signed Matt Ryan from Brighton, but
He'll probably play in goal.
well he's got a hip injury, hasn't he though?
Oh, has he? Then
So
it'll
it
be
might be
Runerson,
runner Alex Rudmanson.
Runerson.
Oh, close. Dijon.
He came on. He came on, didn't he? He came on.
See if he can cut the mustard.
Oh, Jesus.
You got to admit that was a good one.
I'm not admitting that. It wasn't a good one.
Okay. But good news for Arsenal because Pablo Mari is returning in training as well. So Louise's suspension could come. Well, it could be either good for Gabriel because Gabriel's had a really tough time. He was player of the month, and then he got suspended, got the virus. So it could be a way for him to get back in, or Pablo Mari alongside Rob Holding.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He seemed alright, hasn't he, Pablo Mari? I've only seen him a couple of times, but he seemed alright.
I think he seems solid. Yeah.
One of them with Arsenal, they've definitely steadied the ship, but I think they've still got that kind of negative result in them every now and again.
Yes. But I think Arsenal have done a good job of, being ruthless and getting rid of, the likes of Mustafi, Kolasinac, Ozil, Socrates.
Yeah, they definitely they've trimmed some dead wood very well.
Yeah.
But I think they're they've probably been the best team for doing that. In terms of getting, like you said, Mustafi.
Yeah, and talking. Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but also
go on.
Talking of Deadwood, Marcus Rowe's gone to Boca Juniors.
Good move.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously Boca Juniors, big club in Argentina, but yeah, can Rojo actually do it there?
Yeah, I think obviously Boca are a huge club, and he's played at the top level. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, and this might interest you. Andre Villas-Boas has been suspended, dismissed by Marseille.
Oh my God, I saw that because he handed his resignation because they signed Oliver and however you say it, the guy from Celtic. Can he turn around and he he turned around in his statement and he said that he wasn't on his list of targets, so he wanted to hand out his resignation because of it. Interesting story. I'd like to see what Sam thinks about that whenever he comes back.
Yeah, and
the great beyond.
Sam's met him. Okay, so yeah, for Wolves, so Neves and João Moutinho, assisted by Neto, and Pepe for Arsenal, as we said, and Lacazette in the 32nd minute. So yeah, I think a good result for Wolves. I think Arsenal. I think Leno will be a miss. Luiz not so much. I don't think. So we'll see. I mean, I'm just looking who have Arsenal got next. They have got Aston Villa at home. Oh, that could be a potential tough game for Arsenal, actually. Facing their old goalkeeper, Martinez.
Villa are an interesting side, though, aren't they? I think.
They are, yeah. It's
bloody hell! I keep watching that goal from Moutinho. I can't. It's so good.
Is it that
I'm gonna
good?
look at this red card now and let you have and give you my opinion. Yeah,
shall we talk about West Brom and Sheffield United then?
Either way, he's out of his goal and it's touched his hand. It's a sending off, even if he doesn't mean it.
Oh right, okay. Oops, sorry, I didn't realise you were not finished with that.
No, it's okay. So you want to talk Sheffield United and West Brom,
yeah?
Big game.
We said it was a big game, didn't we?
Didn't go the way I expected it to go. Huge game.
Yeah.
None of those teams at the bottom now are guaranteed to go down, but obviously there is a gap. I think at least one of them will go down, but I probably couldn't tell you which one.
I mean, West Brom, this was a game they needed to win, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
And what have you thought of West Brom's business, actually? Because they've been busy, you know, in the run.
So obviously I did watch West Brom versus Fulham live on the BBC, and I thought they did okay. They had that guy in from Galatasaray. He only signed the day before, then he came in, and I think Maitland-Niles is a massive coup for them.
Yeah.
Can't believe they managed to get him. Centre defensive midfielder from Celta Vigo, Yokazlu, or however you say it. I don't know too much about him other than his name, and I can hardly even pronounce that.
Neither can I.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those where difficult to comment on, and I'm literally watching the highlights again right now. Big Sam obviously came out and said, you know, he's tired of saying the same things, and you know, it's a good point, because there's only so much you can say. There's only so much you can say about a team towards the bottom anyway.
Are the players not? Do you think they're not taking in what he's saying? Do you think is that the problem?
No, because I don't think they played bad. I think, like, you know, in my opinion, you know, it's just Sheffield United hungrier and more clinical. And I think when you're clinical, you know, you're going to be the one that sort of wins the game. Like we said, you know, it's still a big gap. You know, Sheffield United 10 points away, and they played a game less than a game more than Brighton. West Brom 9 points away, and they played a game more than Brighton. And Fulham 7 points away, and they played a game less than Brighton. So you wouldn't want to say that they're down, and definitely the teams towards the bottom picking up points, especially against each other, is huge.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean Sheffield United. So, do you think that's them? Can you see them staying up?
West Brom or Sheffield United?
Sheffield United.
I think obviously because they've got the biggest deficit, haven't they? So it's hardest for them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll just see who Sheffield United got next. So Sheffield United have got Chelsea.
Yeah. Because obviously Chelsea are playing Tottenham on Thursday, aren't
Oh, yeah. Oh, and now obviously we're meant to be doing the roundup show for that.
Yeah. So we'll probably provide updates as they come.
Yeah, okay. Right. Let's see. So I'm just looking who West Brom have got. Oh, Tottenham at home.
Yeah.
And I know Tottenham didn't play tonight, but what are you thinking of Tottenham? I mean, because I was reading an article saying, this is the script, for Mourinho, falling out with a player, because I think he's falling out with Serge Aurier because Serge Aurier apparently stormed down the tunnel.
He's not dealt with players very well while he's been at Tottenham, but seems to still get the results.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, I showed you the clip, didn't I, of him telling his coaches what he said to Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
Right, okay, and
I think Sam might have died.
What's that?
I said I think Sam might have died.
Well, I don't think Sam will be coming back for this one.
Watch him turn up now. Yeah, it's typical. It would be typical Sam, that, wouldn't it? Actually,
it would be like the not the commentator's curse, but it'd be like that.
I tried to mention as well Newcastle versus Palace.
Yeah, but I was just going to talk about that actually.
Yeah, good win for Palace. Some good goals. Good to see Gary Cahill scoring.
I know. Well, I was thinking, how old is he these days?
Yeah, don't know. Hang on, I'll tell you.
Oh, 35.
I thought he was older than that.
I did, but and he's a player that I've always liked, Cahill. Calm, but a good leader.
Yeah, Big Gary is 35. Wow.
big Gary.
Oh, I love him. I can't. As a Chelsea fan, I can't. I think him and Terry was one of our best partnerships in recent history.
Two great players. One absolute legend in John Terry and
John Terry and Desai, John Terry and Carvalho, and John Terry and Cahill. That's what I would say.
Well, he was there for so many years, wasn't he? So, sort of, I know this is sort of off the subject, but did you agree with Sarri's treatment of Cahill?
No, because I think that he's a club legend after what he's done. I know that like he's not like a. I don't know. Okay, let's not say like a club legend,
Yeah,
but
I
he,
don't think he's a legend.
definitely deserved better treatment because the while he was there, they won a Champions League, they won a Europa League, they won two Premier Leagues. Mind you,
FA Cup.
when you say it like that, he probably could be seen as a Chelsea legend.
Yeah. Did they win the FA Cup with him?
I think they won like two or three,
And maybe the League Cup as well.
and the League Cup they definitely won that.
Oh wow, so he's won pretty much everything.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, he had a great career, and fair enough for Sarri. You do what you want when you're the manager. Really, it's not the players or the fans' decisions to make, is it? It's you as the manager.
Well, yeah,
Um,
I dislike him, sorry.
I know, but
I was glad when he was gone.
it was just that he didn't give a good account of himself as a manager or a person,
No.
really, did he? Um,
Um, so going back to this game, obviously good for Palace. Newcastle, I mean, not
Two
great for
great
them, is
goals
it?
as well. Fantastic goal from Shelby, and then a very good goal from maybe an even better goal from Vida Valde. And I actually thought Newcastle would win, to be honest.
Newcastle, what, played well?
No, I thought they would win.
Oh, you thought they would win?
Yeah, I was almost sort of convinced that they would win. I'm very shocked that they didn't. I think you take control you score a goal in the second minute doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna win, but it's one of those where if you score that early, you should be the one in control. But also, if you score that early, it does give other teams a hell of an opportunity to get back into the game.
Yeah.
Um, but that being said, you know, Palace's goals were good. Cahill's header was very good, and Rita Valde did very well. So,
Yeah.
what can you say, really?
Um, so what have you thought of Fulham's business signing former Sunderland and Bordeaux striker Josh Maja?
I think that's a great bit of business.
He did well for Sunderland, didn't he? I mean, obviously I didn't see them, but I did know that he did well for
Yeah, I mean, he
Sunderland.
did. From what I've heard, he did. He did okay he's done all right at Bordeaux as well. So
Yeah,
it's a good signing, but they need somebody really that's proven. Mitrovic hasn't really done the business.
no,
Deco
it's
Deveride,
yeah,
Deco Deveride only played like one season in the Prem or whatever.
and
So,
Lookman. I wouldn't trust Lookman to get loads of goals.
and Lookman was just one of those where um he sort of started his career um quite he started his career brightly, but
And then
um
start and stop, hasn't it? Really.
yeah,
Um,
obviously the Leipzig move was a big move at the time.
yeah,
Didn't really work out for him. Um,
he did well in his first
but
spell,
he
didn't
might
he?
be in the right place for him. And not in his loan spell, yeah, when he actually went there permanently, it didn't go so well.
No. Um, so I want to get your view on Liverpool's business. What do you think of the signings of Ozan Kebak and Ben Davis from Preston?
Brent Davis, don't know much about him. Seems very good from what I've seen, so that's all you can say, really, isn't it?
Yep.
And Kabak, I know he's one of them sort of the highest rated young centre backs in European football. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a good signing. He'll probably stay. Obviously, we sort of didn't understand why they've signed Davis and Kabak, and now the
But
news that
then it
Matip.
came out that Matip was out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and then everybody needs a bit of defensive reinforcements, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. And obviously, really good signing for Everton, in Josh King.
Yeah, will he play though?
I think he will because, it will ease the burden off Calvert-Lewin, actually. I think it could be a really good signing because, Calvert-Lewin, when he's not playing, they've not really got anyone. Richarlison can do a job there, but he's better as a winger. So yeah, I think I think he will get games, and I think that I think he'll be a good move for him. Yeah, be interesting. Right. Okay, so that's all the games covered today. So Celtic beats Kilmarnock 4-0. So, but obviously Rangers, they play tomorrow. Well, I think Rangers are going to win the Scottish Premiership, I think, unless they really do slip. And I tell you what,
I agree.
It's been an eventful few weeks at Celtic. I mean, Peter Lawford, the long-standing chief executive, has announced he's leaving at the end of the season.
Didn't read
think... That. Oh, sorry, Judd.
No, just saying I've not read that.
Oh, right, yeah, he's going. Do you think that Neil Lennon will still be Celtic manager next season?
Good question. Probably not.
No, I don't think so. I think Finn really, if he was in danger of turning the press against him and also putting the club in a bad way following his outburst, and if you turn the press against you, then it's not going to end well for you, really.
Why? What did he say?
Well, he hit out at the Scottish government and went on a massive rant about Celtic. This is getting political, and when the Nicola Sturgeon hit out at they were going to Dubai, and yeah, so Neil Lennon went absolutely berserk.
Well, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have done it though, to be fair.
No, but also he shouldn't have also said that as well. That he made it worse, I think. But he does seem like a thug, doesn't he, Neil Lennon?
I don't know. You seem to sort of say stuff like that a lot, but I don't know.
Well, I thought
I don't know the bloke.
I thought you said it as well.
Well, he seems like a thug.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be fair. I wouldn't go calling a massive hard man a thug. But no, Annie used to play for Crewe, so I can't say anything bad about him, really.
No, and perhaps he'll be Crewe boss maybe one day.
I hope not. I'm very happy with Artell.
Well, and they're doing a great job, aren't they, in League One?
Very much so, still at the minute.
So, why don't we talk about Crewe, actually? First of all.
Okay. Sure.
First of all, before we talk about today's game, what do you think of your captain Perry Ng leaving?
I wasn't too bothered about him going.
even though he was the club captain,
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a brilliant player and everything, and that's what I think. Just that he's deserved. Excuse me, he deserved to. He deserved to go. He did well for the club. Put a good couple of years in and everything. So definitely deserved to go. Sad to see him leave, but we signed Billy Jones. So
Yeah, former Sunderland player.
yeah, Billy Jones. He spent the majority of his career in the Premier League. So what
Yes,
can
yeah.
you say, really?
Okay, and let's talk about today's game. So, what do you think of today's game?
Well, definitely very good to get back to winning ways after a couple of not so good results, especially getting beat 4-1 by Gillingham.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's not good.
And the thing is, with a lot of teams with games to play, it's important to keep winning or at least drawing, or because for example, Accrington Stanley,
6-1.
and Accrington Stanley and
Bristol Rovers.
and Doncaster have both only played 22 games, where Crewe have played 27, and then you look at Gillingham have played 25, Blackpool played 23, Ipswich played 23, so have Oxford, Charlton have played 26. So yeah, we're in a good position as we are, and take nothing away from that. Don't get me wrong, but also, it could drop so quickly if we don't keep the pace up.
Well, that's the way football goes, doesn't it? You could be at the top of the world and then suddenly it all goes to pieces.
Yeah, but you just gotta see how it goes, really.
Absolutely. Right. I think we should wrap it up there, because I think we've said most of the things I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Well, obviously we'll be back on Thursday, yeah.
We will, so yeah, do you want to take us home?
Sure. Right, so that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe to the TubeMix YouTube channel. We'll be back on Thursday, the 4th of February at 8 o'clock to do a roundup of this week's set of games, plus just talk about football generally, I imagine.
And updates from the Chelsea v Tottenham game as well.
No, that's absolutely true. And yeah, that's it. So, as we said, hope you enjoyed. My name is Jordan, also known as JLIWheels, and obviously Mr. TubeMix. Thank you very much for being with us. Sam didn't make an appearance. What a shame. But it is what it is.
He'll be back on Thursday, hopefully.
And yeah, we'll be back again soon.
Absolutely.
Well, if he's alive. I'm not quite sure where he is. But yeah, with that thought, thank you very much, and good night.
Good night, and